Peace to the room. Got Christopher Gooding, West Coast Wise, D Christian, Wise U, Universal 7, SW. The intro music, right? I gotta, I got a couple things I gotta get set. I get all my technical stuff together, man. You know what I'm saying? John Ireland. Peace, John Ireland. Welcome to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Do the each one, teach one. Hit the like button. We got Mr. 120, Queen Mecca. You know what I'm saying? So in this civilization class right here, of course, we're going through mind versus bloodline. Mind versus bloodline.
Is the mind one cell in the brain, or
is the mind one cell in the brain?
Yeah.
Now the body is made up of trillions of cells.
When I was reading Elijah Muhammad, but he said that the brain has 144,000 brain cells.
No, he didn't say that.
144,000 brain cells. Elijah Muhammad, one of his books.
144,000 brain cells
in the brain. Yeah.
Nah, I listen. He put some different sciences, how fast thought travels, et cetera, but he didn't say 144,000 brain cells in the brain.
No, I can swear I read that. And if I'm not mistaken, our Savior has arrived.
And our Savior has arrived. I mean, hold on for a second. Let me see who's in the room. Is Mr. Spock in here? Because I know Mr. Spock would know the answer to that.
So what is the mind?
Hold on one second.
One more question before I go. Also, I was trying to get the information for the power table. I know it's
Sabu just left. Yeah, see with the paper, that's another thing that's administered from Virginia right now.
No, I know. I was reading them while I was gone. That's why I wanted to know.
Yeah, now the best person to get in touch with is Born King.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If Sabu was here, he's somebody else you could talk to, but yeah, that's totally out of my hands.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I left my information in the front.
Nah, bring it over here so I can see. 793rd. But yeah, let me see who's in here. Call Mr. 120 might know. Mr. 120, how many brain cells did Elijah Muhammad say? All right. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna tell the brother to give you a call, let you know where the act is. If you in Brevoort,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have. If I'm not mistaken, it's a class tomorrow.
Okay.
On Tuesdays.
That's my day off anyway. I definitely try. I said I definitely make it to that.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Peace.
Peace. Well, Christopher Gooding said he never read that either. Yeah, I never. I mean, I know he has some writings on that. Yes, I mean, but see, for you to be able to measure something, right? It's gotta be in the, like, see, you can't measure a mile with a 12-inch ruler. You understand what I'm saying? The thing has to be within the confines of what you're trying to measure it by. You see, the mind is not within the confines of any tool that can measure it. So therefore, thought, we say, mind detect mind. Thought travels at a rate that only another mind that can reach that speed can measure. You understand what I'm saying? So for you to say, it's traveling this many miles per hour, that's you know, and in terms of, you know, cells in the brain, you know, we all got different things that we doing that, you know what I'm saying, that affect the amount of brain cells. Right, yeah, what, 24 billion miles a second? They said, yeah, I can't recall what it was because, you know, that's not a part of what I internalized. You know what I mean? That wasn't a part of the best part that I took for myself. You know what I'm saying? But, uh, you know, it's not, first of all, it's not a what for what comparison. You see what I'm saying? Because you got people with big heads, right? They got a lot of brain cells, they got a lot of brain matter, but that don't necessarily mean that they smarter than yeah, a person with, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you got some women that they tiny, they like 5'1", but because their head is smaller, right, and so then they got less brain tissue, it don't make them dumber. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with intelligence, you know what I'm saying? That's why we deal with supreme intelligence because it can't be measured by that. It can't be, you know, even, uh, you know, education does not equal intelligence. In that same kind of way, like, yeah, you could say you have all these degrees and everything, but that don't really mean how smart you are. You understand what I mean? They just measure your, they only measure your grasp of this topic right here.
What you can remember.
Right, exactly. That's what mostly when you go into school, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with memorization that come from repetition and practice. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But you're not necessarily because you could have a person, which you probably know lots of people like that, that's highly smart. You know what I'm saying? They super duper smart, but just refuse to apply themselves to schools. You know what I'm saying? Right.
They use what they use on the street.
Right, and they'll come out here and use their intelligence and rise to the top. But right, they could have been a doctor. They could have been anything they wanted to be. But it's just what they chose to apply their intelligence to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I was upstairs, I got a Marvel had came to Marvel.
The cartoons?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They came to the prison I was in, and they did a study for 72 hours on your mind, and we got certificates. I was Sunni Muslim, and they said it was 7 doors to the mind. It was thought, conscious, subconscious, will, ego, memory.
What's this again? What's this a list of? Say it again.
The 7 doors of the mind.
7 doors of the mind.
Yeah, we got a certificate on it. They said it was thought, reason, conscious, subconscious, will, ego, and memory. That's the 7 doors of the mind.
Yeah, I never heard that list before. Yeah. You know, but we got some similar to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the 7 planes of energy is mental, physical, emotional, will, realization, control, infinity. You see what I'm saying? Which is, you know, if we was to sit down, and think about it, you know, just on without me really thinking about it, that's like parallel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the principles that you name is parallel to these principles in that we have in the 7 planes of energy.
One more thing I want to ask you, it's a point question I've been involved in. Why do the gods stop at 7? I was asking
we don't stop at 7.
I stopped and I asked another god. I said, "Are you a 5%?" He said, "No, I'm a 7%."
A 7%.
Yeah. He said that the 7% is a god that reached a higher knowledge and went beyond the 5%.
Say it again.
I asked him, "Was he a 5%?" He said, "No, he's a 7%, a black belt that I work with." And I said, "What is 7%?" He said 7% is a God that got knowledge of the highest degree of knowledge of a God and moved on to like different, better, different, and more knowledge and wisdom and understanding.
See, this is the thing you gotta remember, which I don't know what he's talking about. I'm 5%. You understand what I mean? Yeah, 7 is the number. See, this is the thing you gotta remember. You got the quantities of arithmetic. You understand what I mean? And the same thing exists in supreme mathematics. For every number, you have a quantity, right? But then you have the quality of the number. You understand what I'm saying?
Quantity and the quality.
Yeah. So see, like you could say you got one bag of rocks. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? That's different from the principle of knowledge that we use. You see what I mean? Just the quantity of saying, yeah, it's just one what? You know what I mean? One bag of rocks, one bottle of water, one, doorknob.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
that's different from the quality of what we saying is knowledge, right? That we represent with the number 1. You understand what I'm saying? So, when we say we the 5%, you know what I'm saying, or we say that 7 is for God, right? We speaking on the quality of that. You understand what I'm saying? Which is not peace. Got Mr. Green one. Mr. Green one came in. All right. Everybody let Born Mastermind know. What is this? Alkaline water?
Yeah.
Oh, that's I see a whole bunch of people with this, right? And I went to the store to buy it. And the man said $3.50 or something. I was like, what? $3.50 for a bottle of water. Then I figured it out. This is alkaline water.
So it's more energizing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's different.
So, yeah. Look, somebody call Born Mastermind.
Y'all have to do that because I hear you Born Mastermind don't like the, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
you like going Born Mastermind and tell him, man, that I'm ready. We got BN.
Nah, just
BN. That's the dot water. What you mean? You mean like dots? Or you mean like from Egypt? Yeah, Shem, I don't know what. I don't know what. I ain't out of water. See, I need to drink some of this. I start doing my biking. Oh man, not the WAP. Oh, there go Mr. Spock right there. What you said? How many brain cells, Mr. Spock? How many brain cells did Elijah Muhammad say is in the brain? Yeah, we was at. Oh yeah. So when we dealing with these principles, right? It's not about what number is the highest. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's about the qualities that the number manifests. You see
what I'm saying? That 9 is not better than the 7.
Nah, they all numbers. You understand what I mean? See, we deal with all the numbers.
Okay.
From knowledge to born.
But when y'all get to 7, y'all say God, and then 8, 9.
Yeah, well, 7 is a particular kind of number. You know what I'm saying? See, sometimes you can, what?
You say knowledge. 7 is
crazy.
The black,
crazy.
7 is the black man in fullness, right?
But see, look, I'm gonna give you. See, sometimes, the qualities of numbers, right? There is a science that they deal with the qualities of numbers, and that's when you get to geometry. When you get to geometry, these numbers have certain qualities. That's how you're able to make formulas where you can figure things out. You can figure out the area of a square and all these different types of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got what they call postulates and theorems. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this like yeah, you gotta go deep into the study of arithmetic. You know what I'm saying? Where you get into what they call proofs, and they got is when we say logic, we usually just mean people using a certain amount of common sense, but there's actually a field of mathematics that's called logic. You understand what I'm saying? And what that deals with is the properties and qualities of numbers and shapes. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know what pi is? The number pi 3.141598.
I don't know geometry or algebra. I
Well,
was in college, I was taking it out.
so
I passed the subject, but
right now, right, we deal with the science of the like when you look in your lessons, right, and you see the circumference of the planet Earth, right, is 24,896 miles. You understand what I'm saying? And that is pi 3.141598 times 7,926 miles, which is the diameter. Pi times that diameter gives you the circumference. Now, pi is a number, it's a quantity, but it's a quality. You understand what I mean? Because if you take the diameter of any circle, right, and you put the, I wish I had the board in here right now. If you take the circle, right, and you put the diameter, you're gonna need 3 plus 0.141598 of those diameters to go around the whole circle. You see what I'm saying? So that's a quality, right? That gives you a quantity that then you could use to figure out another quantity, which is also a quality.
So let's get back to the mind. The mind, so you're saying the mind is not a cell in the brain? I know you said earlier that the mind can't be measured because it's infinite.
No. See, because look, if you know, just like with the brain, when you deal with brain power, right? If the stack of books you read is this high, right, and you got that knowledge in your brain, that means it can't be a quantity thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like the what's the weight of all the books that you read? You see what I'm saying? That I'm sure they weigh more than your brain weight, more
So you
than
said
your
the brain
brain
can have
weight.
more than 144,000 weights? So you said it can have more or less?
I mean, I'm sure there's an average number that they have. You know what I'm saying? But see, with my education in terms of that is in brain power. You know what I'm saying? Now, you see, like how we just went through the mathematical formulas and all that. See, I'm not in particular. I'm not a biologist. And see, when you come on Thursday, right, and you build Sunez, see, he's much stronger in biology than me. You understand what I'm saying? But
Biology is the physical body, right?
right, yeah, all of these are sciences. That's in 120 lessons. Look, the calculus, the trigonometry, the physics, the chemistry, the geology, the hydrology, all that's in 120 lessons. You understand what I'm saying? If you really get in and show improving it, you gotta go through all those sciences. You see what I'm saying? But the mind,
You have to go through all that to show proof. That's deep.
I mean, yeah, they really show improvement. Like you had a lot of people that think that after 120, then you go to all this other stuff. But no, you really supposed to be digging into the details of 120. You see what I'm saying? And if you think it's some other knowledge out there that goes beyond somebody telling you from who is the original man to Pluto, then see this is Pluto. That's astronomy. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But see, what I'm saying is that the mind, right, can only be detected by, this is what I'm saying. You know about what they call that, taxidermy. You know what taxidermy is? You ever seen when people in their house they got a lion, a stuffed lion?
Mhm.
But see, if you see that stuffed lion, you're not going to be afraid because it's not a lion.
Yeah, sure.
That's just the skin of the lion with some stuff in it. You understand what I mean? Same thing for people. If y'all came up here and people just had me stuffed right here, right? I'm just sitting here stuffed. That's not me. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the vehicle that I was using. You understand what I'm saying? And the only way for you to detect my intelligence is you gotta be intelligent. You see what I'm saying? Like if you speak to a 2-year old about certain topics, they don't know what you talking about. They can't tell if you smart or if you just talking. That's why when they talk to you, before they want to talk, they just be blah blah blah. You ever have babies talk to you? Like they just sit right there, right, and just go blah 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 blah, blah. And you be like, what? They be like blah 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 blah. To them, they think they talking to you because they see other people have conversations, they be laughing and talking, and they want to be a part of that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. But they not at the level of intelligence where they can detect your intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So that's why only the mind can detect the mind.
It's like telepathy.
Well, that's a
One mind communicating with another.
well, that's
They
another
have voices and stuff like that.
that's another level. You understand what I'm saying?
So one mind can detect another mind.
Yeah, but I'm saying that that's another level. Like, see, uh we got 5 senses, right? That we is universal to
That makes
everybody.
everything real, y'all say.
Right.
If you could touch it, see it, taste it, smell it, hear it.
Yeah, but
Then
see,
you got the sixth sense, which is the mind.
exactly. You understand what I'm saying? So now that's what I'm saying is that that's something that has to be developed though. You see what I'm saying? Because those other senses they all develop. Like if somebody put you in a dark room for the first part of your life, your eyesight ain't gonna develop. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't or we were saying this the other day, right? When a Spanish person eats Spanish food, it's not Spanish food. It's just food. You understand what I mean? Because their taste buds have been developed by the food that they was eating. You understand what I'm saying? The different, or you see how like a person who they a garbage man, you know what I'm saying? They sense the smell over time gets deadened. You understand what I mean? Because of the way they senses developed at that time. So by the same token, you got to develop those six sense. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to detect certain things. Yeah, the target. We had a couple. What you said? Crystal geyser is alkaline water too. He said a 9-year-old third grader that rides to the gym with me is now learning multiplication remotely. That's probably pretty difficult, man. That's kind of rough. I think I would have to tell him like, nah, I got to come in. Can you elaborate on the stages of consciousness? Now, the 5 stages of consciousness is different though. That's uh, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, uh, superconscious, magnetic conscious. Yeah, the 7 stages, 7 planes of energy, 5 stages of consciousness. All right, who's that? Mr. Spock. Appreciate that donation, Mr. Spock. Cash App. Oh man, Mr. 120. Come on, man. Get the young ladies a break, man. They want a little alkaline water. But is that true though? Crystal Gaza is alkaline water too. I didn't know. Yeah, no, I'm still trying to figure out what it is. FDJ Beats.
What kind of drink that builds the body?
A slice of lemon will make your water alkaline. I did hear something like that about you make your own
Yeah, I know. I've
alkaline
been
water.
drinking water eight glasses a day for like a year and a half.
Well, I gotta start rocking with the Crystal Geyser then I guess. Me, I ain't gonna front, man. I like that Deer Park. Remember that commercial back in the days? Deer Park, that's good water. Does everybody share this? I forgot to share it myself, man. I'm telling y'all. Let me share this on my page real quick. Everybody hit the like button for me. We we West Coast Wise. Peace to the God. West Coast Wise with the donation. Greatly appreciated.
When I was taught, they said that you drink 8 glasses of water a day, 1 glass of milk and 1 glass of juice. That's what they push on me. Remember, the galaxy, food chain, or whatever like that. That's all products that they got, which I can sell. So that's why they, you know what I'm saying? But the baby needs milk for the mother to grow and lunch. The mother, not cows. But the cows can allow that.
The Kagan machine for a few years, along with the filters, sells them to restaurants as well as gallons of water. As he claims, most in the shelves are not official tissue. I mean, well, anytime when something gets commercial, you know what I'm saying, on a high level like that, on a high level like that, you're gonna get the phone. You know what I'm saying? As soon as people know that type of money is involved, you know what I'm saying? That's just a part of America. You understand what I mean? As soon as the trader finds out that it's something over there that he can make money off, he's gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? To see one thing with today's topic is about, you know what I'm saying, mind versus the bloodline. Well, does anybody else have any? Did I answer your question on the 5 stages of consciousness? Let's get any questions out the way because you know how y'all do. We started off talking about the mind. Let's see how y'all got this. Young Pharaoh drinks Crystal Gaza. Shout out to Young Pharaoh. But yeah, I guess it must be the real deal if Young Pharaoh is if Young Pharaoh. Oh man. But is anyone else? You got any other questions about what you were saying? Please. All right. So AJ White says Crystal Geyser is not alkaline water. I guess we have a side rally developing over here. Wrong J. What's the deal? But getting back to what I was saying, you know what I'm saying, is these are, when we look at the science of the nation, let me see what we have here. West Coast Watch says, do you give your student the 5 powers of observation, 6 principles of learning and interrogation, uh, 7 characteristics of a wise man, 9 pertinent points of Islam? I'm not sure that I'm familiar with the 9 pertinent points of Islam. The 5 powers of observation would be your 5 senses, right? Omni Eternal Truth. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this on your other pages, your Twitter and your Instagram. I noticed. Listen, we get less we get less people on the What Did I Miss crew when y'all share this on your other pages. You know what I'm saying? Now, the 5 powers of observation is your 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Right? 6 principles of learning. We went over that. It's actually I referred to a couple of brothers on that. The 6 forms of interrogation: who, what, where, when, why, and how. 7 characteristics of a wise man. We covered that. The 9 pertinent points of Islam. I recall these I got these things. See, I'm gonna tell you another thing about a lot of the science that brothers like yourself, West Coast Wise, you know what I'm saying, and other people that was exposed to the teachings of Firstborn Prince, right? Is that most of that stuff I learned mouth to ear. Like the science of the clock, I never saw that lesson until after he returned. I didn't even know it was a lesson. I learned it from uh, Prince, Umala, Dumar, and by the time I heard Colleen speak on it, you know what I'm saying, I knew the signs, you know what I'm saying? Right, why King, yeah, they was the younger brothers, you know what I'm saying? And by the time they came, a lot of that stuff was written down. But when I got these things, uh, it was mouth to ear. So a lot of the names and stuff, uh, I didn't get that. But what is the 9 pertinent points of Islam? I'm sure I know them. We went through the six. We went through the 6 stages of learning: uh, silence, listening, uh, repetition, memorization. Uh, I know the last one is action. I gotta write them down. But yeah, that's what we do here. That's what I thought we was doing. But uh, get back to what I was saying in terms of when when we look at the nation, right, and we see how we all come from different walks of life, right? From uh, myself, you know what I'm saying, having, my whole background is here in America, you know what I'm saying, on the East Coast. Islam teaches of the one supreme being, Allah. All right, yeah, there's no God but Allah. Uh, Still not jogging my memory all the way. you got, you guys another brother from the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? But you got brothers that is yeah, God, I mean, yeah, listen, we used to go through some high science. Back in the days, there was a minivan behind the school in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? And if you had graduated to that mine, uh, I mean, if you had graduated to that level and you was allowed to go back there, then the you know the the, the knowledge and understanding was supreme that you came out of there with. You know what I'm saying? But uh, 5 stages of the mind. All right, yeah, I'm familiar with that too. But we got Mr. 120. You know what I'm saying? That his background is from you know India. You know what I'm saying? We got brothers whose background is you know Hispanic, or however you understand what I mean. We got all these different people. How we able to come together and form one family?
Like, like Zeus said, there comes a time when we must come together as one God.
Right now, but how are we able to do that? You see what I'm saying? Because you know we don't. You know, we got all different bloodlines. You understand what I'm saying? See, like right now, you know what I'm saying? We got like when we say father, right? Father of civilization, right? Now, on the one hand, uh, we got a physical reality of that. You know what I'm saying? Where you got children. You know what I'm saying? But then we also have that father means to further one's education.
That father means to further one education.
Father means to further one's education. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, even when what happens, right? When you have a child that's growing up, right, and their father is not around, right, and so that you don't really consider him a father. You understand what I'm saying? Because he didn't further your education in no way. You understand what I'm saying? Now, of course, something could have happened to him. You see what I mean? But if he was righteous and he was already furthering the education of your mother, then she's gonna teach you what he taught her. You understand what I'm saying? You see, that's what I'm saying. Like when you see the flag, right? Yeah, that's sun, moon, and star, man, woman, and child. That's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? But then you still got culture of freedom. So how is that? How is that lived out?
Being free.
Hmm?
Being
Yeah,
free. Being
yeah, you
mentally
got to
free.
be free to do it. You're right. Now look, some people. You're right. Some people look to keep it simple. Some people can't be the father because they locked up. You understand what I mean? So now that limits how they can deal with that situation. You understand what I mean? But what I'm saying is how you live it out. Because look, he could be in the house, but if you just slapping everybody around all the time, yeah, that's not the universal flag. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not using knowledge and wisdom to bring about understanding in that cycle, you understand what I mean? Then, did you know something to tell you that's unique about the number seven? When you ask why people use the number seven, did you know that seven is the only number in supreme mathematics that doesn't there's all the other numbers, right? You could divide 360 degrees evenly. Seven is the only number that if you divide 360 degrees by seven, you don't get another even number.
to the odd number?
Now, I mean, you don't get you know, 9 uh, into 360 is 40. If you put 7, you're gonna have a fraction. Yeah, that's the only number that you can't just divide into 360 degrees. So it's a unique number, and it manifests. You know, that's the unique quality of that number. You see what I'm saying? And so that's one reason why the principles that's attached to that number, yeah, a whole number. That's an even number. Yeah, you don't get a whole number. You understand what I mean? So it's a unique characteristic dealing with the arithmetic of that number, right? And that's why 7 is the principles that's attached to it is unique.
Thank you, sir. You read a lot. I know that. But you're intelligent. But do you take time out to do math too? Like, you know, go to Barnes and Noble, get a math book just to do take and things like that. Because I find myself reading everything, but I don't do too much math. I think that I was thinking that the brain, one side is mathematics,
Well,
one side is the alphabet, and the balance.
No, it's not that. I mean, see, everything is what it applies to. It's like when you're reading about different topics, right? And then you having conversations, and you know you speaking on those topics. You know what I'm saying? See, math for the most part is used to build. You know what I'm saying? You know, the most way we use math right now is to exchange, to make sure exchange is balanced. You see what I'm saying? Right. So if you get a man a $20 bill, right, and he give you back your change, you use math to calculate if that exchange was balanced. You understand what I'm saying? But see, it all depends on what you applying yourself to. Meaning, like, look, if you deal with computers and stuff, you gotta use math. You understand what I'm saying? You know, if you a carpenter, you gotta use math. You understand what I mean? So like I said, with you know, just you reading on different topics, you know, you have conversations. So conversations roll through different topics. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, that's one of uh, the reasons, like I said, that math was deemed, uh, you know, so esoteric. You know what I'm saying? So sacred. You know, math is sacred in other traditions of learning. You understand what I mean? You know, in reality, it's just the science of the original man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we use math. Uh, you know, what's your height is math. You know, what's your weight is math. You
So
understand what
when
I'm
you
saying?
say, when I read, you say that a law of language with mathematics, are they talking 0 through 9, you know, beyond? Or are they talking about supreme?
Well,
Supreme
it's 1
mathematics
to
and
9.
mathematics is two different things.
It's 1 to 9, and then the cipher is formed. You understand what I mean? You got to study what's called uh, the Hindu number system, and you will learn about the digits and how that was developed. You know what I'm saying?
100 black scientists, African guy was something about.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you just said?
I mean, you could just look up a book on the Hindu number system. Sometimes you will hear it referred to as the Arabic number system, but they got it from the Indians. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what was your other question you said?
I was actually, when they say mathematics and supreme mathematics, are they talking about two different things? Mathematics.
Yeah, it's different.
They two different.
You see, you know what I like to say is arithmetic versus supreme mathematics. See, when you deal with just mathematics or arithmetic, you only dealing with the quantities of the numbers. You're not dealing with the qualities of the numbers. The qualities apply, like I said, once you start getting into geometry, right? things is based on, like the qualities of a right angle. You understand what I mean? Because of the qualities of a right angle, right, it makes it possible to do trigonometry. But you got to know the qualities of a right angle, and then you can start 90 degrees, and then you can start going into things like sines and cosines and tangents, and then you can make different calculations.
So you know geometry yourself?
Yeah.
You know algebra also?
Yeah.
I don't know algebra geometry.
I mean, you know that door is rectangle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know geometry. You know what I'm saying? It's just, do you know all the different qualities, right, of the numbers and the angles that allow you to be able to make calculations according to that? You understand what I'm saying? But, mathematics is the language of the universe. You know, see, everything like right now, right? If you deal with language just in the form of alphabet, right? How far away is the sun?
How far away is the sun?
Yeah.
I mean,
Now I see you about to use math.
oh, you said with the language?
Yeah, if you just use words, if you just use alphabet and you don't use math, how far away is the sun? Yeah, so you could only say it's really, really far away. You understand what I'm saying? You know, how hot is the sun? See, there's no words that you can use to really describe it because there's nothing in our world that's that hot that you can say, well, yo, like when you touch the radiator, nah, it's hotter than that. You see what I'm saying? But if you say, okay, it's this number right here, this is the temperature of the sun, and that's 10,000 times hotter than when you touch the radiator. See, now you can begin to conceive of these things. You see what I'm saying? Because what you gotta realize is that even when you're dealing with letters, right, is a pattern. The letters that they put together is a pattern that you learn to recognize and decipher. You see what I'm saying? So you ever remember in math class where they say, well, they give you a set of numbers. They say 2, 4, 6, 8, right? What's the next number?
10.
See, when you recognize that pattern, that's because we speak in a language. You speak the language of mathematics, so you're able to decipher things according to that.
So why is it God's supreme mathematics or supreme mathematics?
Because you don't just deal with the quantities or the recognition of the patterns, you deal with the meanings, right? And the meanings of the principles and the meanings of the pattern. Like I said, when you deal with one, or anything, right? If you read the lessons, right, and it says, and I just tell you 196,940,000.
That's the compass of
No, it's not just a circumference.
196, 940,000.
Good. Did you say, has anyone ever asked about the D in the end missing? This?
Square mountains of the planet.
All the time I thought they was yellow. I didn't even notice that. But this is what I'm saying.
The square mountains of the planet.
All right. But see, here's the thing. I didn't say square miles. I just said 196,940,000. See, yeah, right. I could have been talking about anything. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you got to deal with the meaning, because what I just told you was a quantity. But when I tell you that it's square miles, now I'm starting to introduce qualities into it. You understand what I mean? That allows you to do your calculations.
I just said square miles.
Right. So it's the same thing when we say, when you just say one, you're just talking about a quantity. One what? One sweater, one bottle of water, one chair, one, marshmallow, one pig. You understand what I'm saying? One what? You got to deal with the meaning of those things. You see what I'm saying? What we talking about when we say one, we talking about the foundation of all things in existence. You understand what I'm saying?
So that becomes, one is the quantity. When you say foundation of all things in existence, you're saying that's the quality?
That's the quality.
That's the quality.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we look at a building, you know what I'm saying, or anything that you dealing with. But like if you're dealing with a building, what's the one of the building? The one of the building is the foundation that, and then it goes to the first floor. But before they can build the first floor, it's got to have a foundation. That's the one of the building. You understand what I'm saying? The two of the whatever you're dealing with, when you're able to break it down, right, into the mathematics like that. See, now that you know the qualities of everything in the cipher, now you know how to activate on it. You see what I'm saying? Like in the world, that's what's happening a lot of time. We go into a cipher and we don't really know what's going on. We don't know the qualities of all the people and all the circumstances that's arising out of this situation. You see what I mean? But once we're able to break things down mathematically, like for instance, if you just back in the days when you used to look up in the sky and you see the sun, you see the moon, you see the stars, you really didn't know what that had to do with you. You see what I'm saying? Until you broke it down, okay, someone stars, man, woman, child. On face value, they don't have anything to do with each other. But once you say, okay, that's the one over there, that's the one over there. That's the two over there, that's the two over there. That's the three over there, that's the three over there. You understand what I'm saying? Now you see how everything relates together. You see what I'm saying? Like even when we look at this computer, right? All these lights that we looking at, what's breaking news, Wordsmith? When we look at all these lights on the computer, they control still by mathematics, but it's only zeros and ones. You see what I'm saying? But through the way they can put those zeros and ones in a certain pattern, right? Mm-hmm. That the hardware, the computer can recognize, and it gives you whatever the program is about. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, binary code.
Zeros and ones? They call it binary code?
Binary code. Bi means two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only two numbers.
0 and 1.
0 and 1.
That makes up the whole screen of the,
mm-hmm.
Or just
everything that the computer works on is binary code. So every number that we have in like you can pick any number, 89, right? There's a way to write 89 with zeros and ones in that binary code, right? That the computer recognizes. But then by the time it puts it on the screen, it shows it to you as 89.
It's that fast.
It's that fast.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But getting back to the thing, what I was saying in terms of how we can all come, right, from all the human families, including white, and be 5%, and be one family. How is it that we able to do that?
I think that you say cipher, well, I was taught the cipher consists of 360 degrees. He said
Mhm.
120 miles, 120 ways come on 370. That makes it 360.
Now look, I know where that comes from, but I don't teach that.
You
I
know,
got 360 degrees of knowledge, 360 degrees of wisdom, 360 degrees of sin.
All right. So you get 360 gods, 360 earths, 360 women. That makes up the three cycles. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Right?
Now, but see, you gotta remember a
So how
cipher.
can we come together?
A cipher goes from knowledge to born, though. But now that's now look, you actually on the path. You on the path for what you said, right? But see, the reason we able to do that, right, is because this is not a science of sex. This is not a science of sex. See, like I said, look, I got biological children, right? That they they you know they came through me physically, right? But then I got people that I taught, right? That was a mind science. You see what I'm saying? That don't have to deal with sex. See, if we was dealing with sex, then only that's when you're dealing with. See, we like brother was saying that once. It was uh, we when you deal with like royal people, see, you can only be royal through the bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only way you could become a king or a queen like that. And even people who come in, you understand what I mean? Yeah, this is another thing. Listen, wives, there's 9 firstborns. This stuff, man, look at that. I mean, I hear you. I hear you, man. I hear you. It's 9 firstborns, man. Listen, it was more than 9 people before the knowledge even got out there. But this some new thing that started being formulated. I don't even know. I'm just telling y'all that's not a part. If y'all can teach that. Y'all, y'all gotta teach me that science.
What is that?
This what I hear. The way I've heard it spoken on is 23 scientists and all that. I mean, listen, yeah. Every place, we deal with patterns, like I just said. We deal with the mathematical patterns. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Everybody's recognized. Everybody's recognized. You know, but this is something that uh, this wasn't a part of how it was. Yeah, each yeah. If we're gonna deal with the pattern, you know, uh, is I mean, I understand what it means, but I'm just saying, don't get carried away with that stuff. But see, that's the science that we dealing with. You see what I mean? Where like, see, uh, if you look at other traditions, other religions, right? They didn't. It wasn't a science of sex. Now you could go into all the stories behind the story or whatever, but see, Jesus was an immaculate conception. Buddha, he had to go away from his biological family. You understand what I'm saying? You know, uh, Abraham, he received his covenant. You know what I'm saying, from God directly. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't about necessarily who he was biologically related to. You understand what I'm saying?
His father was a cool
Huh?
His father worshiped idols. Abraham father.
You understand what I'm saying? But see, this you can't don't get caught up in people gang science wise. I mean, you gotta know. I don't know how you know, but I'm just saying that all of this stuff is a history to it. You understand what I mean? See, when you deal with uh, when you deal with a lot of things, God, right? Is because they knew each other. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from them, but I'm just saying that that's why you don't hear it as much. Like, let me ask you a question: Who's the first? Who's the firstborn from the desert? Who's the firstborn from Pelon? See, one of the differences is that the brothers in Mecca and Medina, they knew each other before they got the knowledge. See, in a lot of them other places, you have people getting the knowledge. You have people that, you know, they going to DFY getting the knowledge and coming home. You have all different things. You see what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you another thing about that firstborn from Medina thing. A lot of them is from Mecca. A lot of them is from Mecca. And listen, I mean this as no disrespect. They my big brother. I'm talking about. Look, to me, all of them is the firstborn in this. They all taught it to me, so who am I to disrespect them? But I'm just saying, don't get caught up, man, that it was no holy people in this, man. Don't get caught up that it was no holy people in this, man. We all did our part of the job, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to designate no holy man. And that's what ends up, you know, happening with that story. But what were you saying right before that?
We were talking about mathematics, supreme mathematics.
Nah, we already passed that. You know what I'm saying? But just getting back to my point that I was making, right, is that this science, it travels through the mind. That's how the DNA of Allah is transmitted. You know what I mean? When we say, listen, man, the only way to be God is you got to walk with God. You can be born in whatever family you want to be born in, however you thought it was going to happen. But in order for you to be God, you got to walk with God. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, with everything, you got to realize your own power. You got to acknowledge your own power. You see what I mean? A person could be born, you could be born. Listen, Allah has children. That's not this. You understand what I'm saying? Because you still got to see this power for yourself. And that's not something that can travel through the bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the only way. You see what I mean? You got to see the example, right, of God walking, and then you got to see that in yourself. See, that's the first thing you can't take on face value, or you start dealing with these holy people type of things. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, this is one of the reasons, and pardon me, everyone, because we know that this is a Hotep channel. But this is why we don't, our teachings, right? We not dealing with the woman as God because she gave physical birth to you. Because she gave physical birth to negative motherfuckers and righteous motherfuckers. Yes, just the womb, all types of people come out of there, of all different levels and power. That's why that's not our teachings. You understand what I'm saying? See, God is something that comes from out of us, from in here. It's not something that you explore. This person right here was before you, or that person was after you. That's why we don't have big U's and little I's. That's the difference, right, between traveling through the bloodline, right, and traveling through the mind. See, that's where we started talking off at when we said only the mind can detect the mind. It's not something you can say. See, you can't say, well, 9 months it takes for the baby to be born, right? See, some people came around the guys one time. They heard the signs one time and they seen it. Other brothers, like myself, I was around for like a year before it finally sunk in. These cats know what they talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's got to come from within you. It can't come from the outside. That's what I'm saying. That's not the science that we dealing with. I just understand our teachings. See, not to because see, look, maybe I just don't understand the other people teachings. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe I just don't understand. I can't. I'm not condemning other teachings. I'm just saying that if you're dealing with this 5% science, that's what we dealing with. You see what I mean? And that's why we could come in tune with somebody on the other side of the planet, and we would be like, "Yo, yeah, we one mind." You know what I'm saying? Like minds think alike. All of these types of things like that. You know what I'm saying? Or when you come in tune with somebody, right, on a high level, even in the 85% world, what they say, it's my brother from another mother. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because y'all one mind.
It's like when this was a few years ago, I was reading, I was walking, and then my brain just said, "I'm God." My brain itself said, it's like, it said it how I cannot pronounce it. It said God, but I couldn't pronounce it how.
See what happened is
That's when I know I got my godhood. I mean, from boyhood to manhood to godhood.
see what happened is you you had certain experiences, right? And over time, those experiences brought something out of you. You understand what I'm saying? Just it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? You could get beat up every day for 10 years, and then one day you be like, man, fuck that, I'm fighting back. You understand what I'm saying? Those experiences brought a warrior out of you. You understand what I'm saying? So you experience certain things. You know what I mean? A lot of people may have heard this before, but that's the history of how this was born. You see what I mean? Where Allah was paying attention to the lessons. You understand what I mean? We're saying, wait a minute, man. He said the original man is God of the universe, and I'm the original man, God of the universe. You see what I mean? But it took a while for that degree of education to bring something out of him. You see what I'm saying? But nobody didn't tell him, yo, you were love, right? See, that's why we hold him where we hold him. Because the rest of us, that's what happened. Somebody came up and said, yo, you love, right? Yeah, the black man's guy, yeah, our name is love. You see? And for the record too, see that's why there's you see because every once in a while the Almighty God Allah said I was adopted. Allah is the Father. That was one thing. It was a brother. I don't know who had the knowledge this long, but at one time on 8th Avenue, it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken. At first, it was over here where the sneaker store is at on the southeast corner, and then they moved it over to northwest corner. And one day when they had moved it over to the northwest corner, we was standing there building. It was after the rally, and the brother walked up and said, "Yo, man, I grew up in an orphanage." And at the time, I didn't even know orphanages still existed. Like I thought this was like some movie. Like what? What, you grew up in an orphanage? And he was like, "Yeah, God, like y'all really my family, man. Like I don't have no family besides y'all." You understand what I'm saying? See, that's why we all could be in this, man, because this is not a science of sex. Now look, you know who come from the science of sex? The devil. See, that's the science of sex. You see what I'm saying? They talking about the unlike in the alike, right? You know, those who would marry, babies being born. You understand what I'm saying? That's a sex sign. That's why they dealing with 6 and we dealing with 7.
Yeah, they always talk about lineage and shit too, like the blue bloods and all
The
this
blue bloods,
the
the red blooded Americans. You understand what I'm saying? The Aryan race. That's why they into that. They into all that separation like that because that's where they came from. You understand what I'm saying? Why we can all come together because we dealing with a supreme thought. You understand what I'm saying? And not a science of sex. You see what I'm saying? So that's what when people are searching for the beginning that never began, right? Of where people came from, that's what they trying to figure out. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken or the egg? The chicken or the egg? People could not have come here because of the science of sex. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what people get caught up in when they're dealing with that. And so now everybody came out the womb. You understand what I mean? Hotep disclaimer. You understand what I'm saying? But we went in on that rant for it's not really a rant. That was just some supreme science that I wanted to teach. Now we're gonna get to the other thing. I don't know how many of y'all heard, but you know I heard it was a lot of calls coming in pertaining to some events that occurred at the school out in Medina.
Yeah, I saw that.
You said yeah, a lot of people did. How many people saw that? How many people saw that?
I was just out there not too long ago. Me too. This was crazy.
Ron J said, "I love my physical family. Born you truth. They mine is not my mind. I hadn't seen Darkim Be Allah in years, physical or internet. Born you truth. When I seen him, I was excited. Like yo, that's my air life. Indeed. You know what I'm saying? I seen it the same way. Uh, yeah, I like this right here too. Uh, As W said, original man, black man, is the mind's original extension of life with the most supreme of physical capabilities, just as the sun, dark but gives off powerful light, opposite of color. But how many people have heard, uh, I hope everybody is doing to each one teach one and hitting the like button, unless y'all don't like the signs that I'm building on. So yeah, just one said it was sent to him. Uh, an individual had gotten shot over there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of calls was coming in. Uh, you know, this event was not affiliated with us. You know what I'm saying? You know, the the individual who got shot. Uh, he was from the outside. It was an event happening at that building. You know what I'm saying? And this individual, he tried to escape into the building, whatever the case may be. But the individuals who he got into it with or whatever, none of them was affiliated with us. I don't know the story. I don't know what happened. I don't know who the people are. It doesn't have anything to do with us. You understand what I mean? What brought it to a lot of people's attention, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Sun God said he was there today, you know what I'm saying? This blessed on the sidewalk for that event, you know. But the reason why it went out and a lot of people was concerned was because in the reports, you know, the original news report that I saw was it was a televised thing, and they showed the sign that said a law school, you know what I'm saying, and you know, in the newspaper report, it also said a law school. So a lot of people was concerned for a couple of reasons, you know what I'm saying. First of all, you know, making sure that everybody's all right, you know what I'm saying, uh, to the brother's family that didn't make it or whatever, you know what I'm saying. My condolences, but he's not affiliated with us, you know what I'm saying, you know, and in fact, I can't even tell you anything about the event. I can't tell you anything about the event that occurred because the building itself, you know what I'm saying, we not really affiliated with that either. You know what I'm saying? The history of that is that a brother named Akbar, who was very active in his community, you know what I'm saying, he acquired that building from the city to make it into a community center. You know what I mean? And of course, because he's a 5%er and he gets something that's going to be a resource for the community, the 5% is going to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Since then, the brother has returned to the essence, and the stewardship of the building it went to his family. You know what I'm saying? Now, recently, I heard that another member of the family has, he's the steward of it right now, and he's building to restore it back to the way the brother Akbar had it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we, fast and build for much success for him in being able to do that. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the event that was going on and the events that occurred surrounding that, you know what I'm saying, has nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? I was, you know, they requested that I make an announcement about that. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Uh, I ask people to share this live in particular so that could be manifested, because a lot of situations happen, right, where a little bit of knowledge goes out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of knowledge goes out, you know what I'm saying, and based on the lack of the whole picture, people begin to panic. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of fear at the end of the day is connected to not knowing. You understand what I mean? That's why children is afraid of the dark, because they can't see. You understand what I mean? They don't know what's there, until you develop your sixth sense, which is the mind. You understand what I mean? And then you know that, all right, well, whatever was here when the lights was on is the same thing here when the lights is off. You understand what I'm saying? But so uh, that was that event. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we fast and build as the brothers able to restore that building to its former glory as a place where large mathematics is being taught. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, that's what it is. So do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions around the room today? All right, yeah, I that's who I spoke to too. I spoke to Darkim Be AllahChrist, but I spoke to him on the phone. You Sun God, you said you went down there. What's going on?
The king said he got a call from a sister, and she said that Darkim Allah beat her up.
Yeah, that must be the other Darkim or something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, real hip hop. You know, the you know, it's definitely sad because the brother was a young brother. From what I understand, he was like 21 or 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? And you know, yes, and so that's one of the reasons why you know, we need to fast and build that the building comes back to its former glory, so that yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, real hip hop. Nobody, the gods in the earth was not targets of this. We're not targets. We're not perpetrators in this. It has nothing to do with us. You know, you don't have to hope. I'm telling you what it is now. You know what I'm saying? From you know, brothers that's down there doing what they doing, that we not affiliated with that. It has nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? But uh, there's an awning up that has a lot of school on it, and so when the story went out, that you know it led to some degrees of misunderstanding about what happened. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I said, the brother being only
Yeah, it ain't him.
the
But the king told her that she has kid, so she get a order of protection. The king said, yeah, and lock him the fuck up.
why are you gonna tell somebody that,
He
man?
said she in the hospital.
She in the hospital.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Yeah, some guy is saying right here that you know that's what when I was speaking to the brother, he was saying that right now they're in the midst of renovating the building over there. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but you know, does anybody? I know I spoke on this before. Does anybody recall the definition of a law school?
Definition of a
Yeah, you know what a law school is?
university, isn't it?
Hmm?
It was
Yeah, it's a university,
a law academy, street academy.
street academy. Yeah, but I'm saying, what does anybody know the definition of a law school? We'll leave that one open for the floor for a minute. Uh, street academy. That's another name for a law school. But what's the definition of a law school?
Liberate the minds of men, educate the children.
You on the path. See, a law school is any place where a person have the knowledge of themselves and they not afraid to teach it.
Beautiful. Now I know
Hmm? Who?
Fat one from the mental hospital.
Crazy?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
He
see?
made that call.
Yeah, see? And that is,
Okay, you know, tell fuck that fat ass
listen,
dog.
that's why I told her stay away from it.
Yeah.
That's you know who that is, Mr. Greenwood?
Nah.
Amina.
Yeah.
Oh, the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, see
her.
this that's why look. That's why I told her to stay away from it. So I can have plausible deniability. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like now all of a sudden he calling around saying this crazy stuff.
That's crazy, yeah. That's why that comes though,
Yeah, man. You understand what I'm saying? That anywhere where uh yeah, you're right about that, Mr. Spot. You know what I'm saying? The area that school is in, you know, the area that this school is
yeah.
in.
It's right across from Tilden.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, this is, you know, they, is our name was the name that was attached to it, though. You understand what I'm saying? But anywhere where, you know, someone, the young guys, I mean, the young guys grew up.
Yeah, that's what I was
The young guys grew up during the quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Mahadi, he rests out in Jersey now. You know what I'm saying? Uh, some of the other brothers, actually, the other brother, he came a couple times, but he got a gig now. You know what I'm saying? He got a job, so he going to work. You know what I'm saying? Reality. Um, I think Reality might have had a new baby or something. You know what I mean? So he been taking care of that. You know, but yeah, they ended up growing up during the quarantine, so they don't have as much time. Uh, it's a new group developing right now. It's a young brother that came out here. It's a young brother that comes out here to see us. He been coming out for like the last maybe week and a half. You know what I'm saying? From Jersey. You know what I'm saying? He's knowledge equality. You know, so he'll probably be coming through. You know, but that's how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I was just saying. You know, when it clicks with somebody, you know, there's a day that things click for people. Like I recall, it was a day uh, when I was on the wisdom culture degree in the was it the it might have been the wisdom understanding. It was either the wisdom understanding or the wisdom culture degree in the 140. And I asked somebody a question, and when he gave me the answer, you know, I asked somebody like, "Yo, you know, how you see that degree?" Like I was, and then when he gave me the answer, I was like, "Wait a minute, man, I knew that." Like, you know what I'm saying? Wow, why? And that's the last time I asked that kind of question in terms of, uh, I at that point I understood how to dig into the degrees for myself. You know what I'm saying? And so when that happens, you know, it's really that's when it's that time. You know what I'm saying? The young brothers that was in the class, they got programs up here now. You know what I'm saying? That is they come up here and they give community cookouts now. You know what I'm saying? Where they have different things out here. They had I'm sure y'all heard about that because people came from out of state to deal with that too. It was a some kind of youth day. What do they call it? It was in Jersey in the Indian reservation.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? Can anybody think of the name of that? But the young brothers that was in the class, that was their project. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't gotta come see Christ no more. You know what I'm saying? this is this is a lonely, thankless job. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is keep getting a new batch. You know what I'm saying? They smell good. It's like with dudes when dudes go to college, man, you know what I'm saying? They, now they got their education, a good gig. They move over to PG County or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They move out to Alexandria, and now you don't see them like that no more. You know what I'm saying? But the longer you be in the knowledge, man, you gonna know people like that, man. It's like, yo, man. But that's what that's what uh that's what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to stay clumped up like this, or the knowledge will never expand. See, some people got to go out on a post, right? Some people got to go out on a post where you may never see them again. You understand what I'm saying? And some people is gonna hold the fort, but some people got to go out on the post, man, and they got to do the work over there. So, uh, yeah, P Almighty, Mahadi, uh, Salim, Reality, even Sun God. You know what I'm saying? That was the cipher that we had. Uh, when these lives first started going out, and so really, I guess that means I got to get on my job. Really, you kind of called me out right there. You know what I'm saying? But don't forget we got the boxing class too. The reason I can't put the boxing class on because it's some kind of new thing in YouTube where you can't do kids videos or something. Something is funny, but I put up the boxing class and it YouTube took it down a little bit. I can't recall what happened, but I had to put it on private. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the brothers over there is coming along nicely. It's starting to be a little each one teach one going on with that. Chief beating the Bills. Yeah, they flagged it. That's the term. Chiefs beating the Bills. It's not New York sports. But really right now that's one of the things I'm in the mix of is expanding out the amount of events. You know what I'm saying? I met a brother, which I've been known him, you know what I'm saying? But me and him came in tune right now. He coaches football. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another thing. Uh, Basketball actually was going to be in effect. But what happened is the park over here in the projects was uh it was they was renovating it. So because of the construction, we couldn't do the because of the construction, we couldn't have that tournament. But really, that's kind of what I'm about to get into is trying to put some other programs together. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we got the garden. We got the garden out there. We got the boxing class. You know what I'm saying? We got different things. So you know what I'm saying, and other things we want to introduce, you know what I'm saying, other sports, etc., etc. The Bills is New York's best team. Stop the 5. Bills. Have the Bills ever won it? Come on,
They
man.
came close like 2 years ago.
They ain't even win it with OJ. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess we can move on to question time, or is this another one of those classes where you know my 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 I built it made things so crystal clear that there are no questions. West New York, stop it, five. No, East New York, West New York. What's that?
Probably talk about the stage lesson.
Yeah, hey, look, they got good music. The Knicks, man. When I go in the cooker, what do they call it? When I go in the incinerator, I'm gonna be rocking blue and orange. That's, I don't know. When they put me in the vase, it's gonna be blue and orange. You know, I've given out my instructions because uh, I've seen people, you know, just a lot of things go down in a way, you know, with people that I know they wouldn't have wanted that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew them personally, but because they didn't give specific instructions, you know what I'm saying, on how they wanted things to be handled when they returned, you know, I'm seeing some crazy stuff. The Knicks look good on paper. They always look good on paper. They've been looking good on paper since they broke ground on the stadium. But let's get back to the science of the mind. And how we gotta activate from that level.
I know that. Stupid. I think I know the story. I keep on forgetting.
What, the screen is looking blurry? I mean, listen, man. I don't know. Katie and Kyrie. I mean, listen, man. They gotta, you know, you gotta win in order to be seen as winners. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing over there, that was that. You know, those was different times and different places. You know what I'm saying? Where you know they had success, but let's see what happens because you know that's a big thing in New York sports. You know what I'm saying? Where we'll have a guy, you know, the guy was a good player before he came. Then he'll come to New York, stink it up, get traded to another team, go back to all-star status. It's happened many times. You know, Melo. Well, Melo didn't play all that great when he left. I mean, you know, Melo is who he is. You know, for me, you know, he's a known quantity. What's a GVR 793rd? Real hip hop said the science of the mind is a deep subject.
Very deep. Do we know the seven doors of the mind? Like I was saying to you?
The 7 doors of the mind. Say them again. I didn't.
Thought, reason, conscious, subconscious, ego, will, and memory.
And so when they would
I got a
say,
certificate with all that on it.
so these are doors in or doors out?
When they say,
Hmm?
when they say doors in or doors out, they just said doors.
Yeah, see, that's very important. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're dealing with doors in or doors out. You know what I'm saying? At an extreme level. I gotta break out the Bobby Browns. I've been good the last couple of days without the Bobby Browns. I need to get the Bobby Browns. Is anyone else having difficulty hearing me? Wait a minute. There's some over here. One, two, 1, 2. Oh yeah, I do see it. It says a little low right there. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. That's a little bit better. All right, see, now we back in it. Now we talking. West Coast Wise said, I'm working on opening a street academy in Seattle. What are some of the best practices that worked that worked at a law school? Said the visual is Simpson quality. What's Simpson? Genius Germ. You been in the background all this time? That's a good point right there. We're gonna come back to that. Real hip hop said we are in an age of cognitive dissonance being a new normal. But you know,
that's going to they're going to keep that
what?
That dissonance. He said social dissonance being a normal, right?
No. He's talking about cognitive dissonance. You know what I mean? Cognitive dissonance is when you block out
like
reality. Yeah.
Yeah,
You block out the reality. You know what I'm saying? You know, and especially, you know, with distraction. You know what I'm saying?
High or something like that.
Yeah, getting high is a form of cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying?
Reality.
Where you have, you know, a problem or whatever. You understand what I mean? And you ignore that problem by getting high. You understand what I'm saying? But what Wise was saying is the best thing is to have a focus and stick to that focus. You know what I'm saying? You know, one thing I would do is to have a plan already. You know what I'm saying? You know, mostly in the form of a schedule. You know what I'm saying? So that, because see, once, you know, nature abhors a vacuum. So if you don't fill up a space with positivity, negativity is that much easier for it to come in. You know what I'm saying? And negativity, a lot of times, it starts in the form of complacency is not the word, but just you know, where like say you got a school and you know people is just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to be that situation. One of the first things you want to do is have a schedule, you know, have a group of people, whether it's a small group or a big group of people that's responsible, you know what I'm saying, for doing teaching, you know what I'm saying? Also have a source of income. You see what I'm saying? You know, follow, you know, a large footsteps in terms of establish it in a way where, you know, I'm not saying something will happen to you, but if anything does happen to you, right, that the the system is set to run. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like if you got a system where it's like, okay, only West Coast Wives pays the rent. So, you know, what if, you know, anything happens, you know, West Coast Wives has another child. You understand what I'm saying? You know, have it so that the school, you know, could be independent, you know, if it's not like outright owned or something where you don't have to do that, you know, and have you know, the specifics of what you're going to do, you know what I'm saying, you know, whether you're going to have sports, you know, whether you're going to deal with GED, civilization classes, you know, maybe dance classes for the girls, you know what I'm saying, all of those things like that, have your day full. You see what I'm saying? So that those individuals who is not really 100% about building, you got a lot of people that's about maintaining. You know what I'm saying? They're not really people that's like, yo, they negative, they're gonna come around and steal and none of that. You understand what I mean? But you know, we live in a universe where you either doing something or you know, is really no middle ground. You gotta walk the left road or the right road. So you know, that's the mode because you already, you know, you know the mathematics. You know what I'm saying? In terms of teaching, you know, and what y'all gonna teach, but you know, sit down and write all the things, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, and then, you know, there's unique things to the community out there. You understand what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying, that you, but you know, sit down and make that list of all the things that you think is going to be beneficial to the people. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and of course, you know, like I said, some things is a given. You know, for me, one thing I do is I stick to the young. You know what I'm saying? I do the civilization class, but you know, mostly everything I do, I stick to the young because, you know, it prevents me. You know, one thing it does a lot of things, but one thing it does for me, it prevents me from burning out. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you start doing things, you got all these grown people come around, eat up your food and don't add on. You know what I'm saying? This is not where you want to go. You understand what I'm saying? It's different when, you know, you're dealing with the babies and you can see, you know, that they got an appreciation for what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And remember, you know, because, you know, that's something that's been developed recently is, you know, babies is kind of, you know, they you gotta teach them discipline. You know, they babies. So you know some things is gonna happen. You know what I mean? But, you know, keep all that intact, you know what I'm saying? And just remember that, you know, what you gotta do is elevate people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody might not get the supreme knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I think you'll be good. Yeah, West Coast Wild. That's what happened, man. People, you know, people come and you know, you might say something, like you know, you're gonna do a cookout, you know what I'm saying? You know, like a lot of times, you know, that's where I find myself at. You know, you got grown people and look, a lot of people, I love them, all of this, you know. But look, when I'm doing my events, let's make sure all the babies eat, and then with whatever's left over, now I deal in equality. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I keep the focus, you know, on what it is that I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that they drawing up, you know, peace. You ever heard the, you know, once upon a time, we used to hear this a lot, you know, but brothers used to say that supreme is the soup that tastes like ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So we teaching them, but don't, you know, forget to let them be kids. You know what I'm saying? They still kids, and they gonna do kid stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you'll know you being successful with them when they get each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you know, recently I've been having a lot of kids bringing other kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, and what I start noticing now is that sometimes the first kid that brought the other kid, sometimes that other kid come now by itself without the first kid. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I say, yeah, I'm you know, see, just that alone, that makes me feel like I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to keep your energy up, man. I seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? Where brothers burn themselves out economically. Like I said, if you don't have a group of brothers that's together to add on, you understand what I'm saying? Or you don't have a way, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything. Maybe you got a barbershop or something attached to the school, you know what I'm saying? A certain amount of proceeds go to make sure everything is right. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know, you don't want to burn out economically. You know, you don't want to burn out energy wise. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, whatever you're doing over there, you know, you still got your family. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. So you don't want to burn out like that. You understand what I mean? You know, and you know, remember, we a nation. So sometimes if you know the nation is not going to be together, man, sometimes you got to just do West Coast Wide School. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else had to catch up. You understand what I'm saying? If they not going to be about building, right? If they not going to be about adding on, but they're going to be, you know, putting all the weight more, you know, you coming through and you consuming, but you not producing, you gotta get rid of them. Light, visible. Right, like visible said, can't burn a candle on both ends, won't stand up right. So let's get back to what this is. We speaking on cognitive dissonance. All right, John Ireland. So we had a question here. Have you ever heard about Serapis? Yeah, I have. You gotta jog my memory though. I can't off the top of my head. I'm not, but I know that name. If you jog my memory. Divine knowledge said the mind is the greatest thing in existence. It enabled us to manifest ourselves from triple darkness. Indeed. Oh, you talking about before? Oh, The Simpsons is. Oh, you saying it looks like my video looks like back in the days? I see. Real Hip Hop says psychological distress is another form of cognitive dissonance, as it can lead to trauma, anxiety, and depression. Yeah, you got that's a good way to put it. Idle time is the devil's playground. So when you build a school, that's a good way to put it. Don't let it be all this idle time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you're going to get these consumers coming around. And then see, once they start, yeah, God, we be over here building. God, we having insight. Yeah, but all y'all got the knowledge. We have insight for it. Get out of here. Go somewhere out on another post and add on over there, and if that's what y'all want to do. The God I say cognitive dissonance in the body causes the body to strive for equilibrium. Yeah, man, we got so that's a little side rally. I'm not gonna get caught up with y'all with this homeostasis and equilibrium. 1 second, Joe. That's what happened. I actually had to address that over here too.
Happens, man. It's always ask Theology. I don't know shit. I don't know about what happened in Medina.
Yeah.
I'm in Mecca. I'm only concerned about the school in Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Whatever problem you had over there, you don't handle that. Don't ask me shit. I don't have a number. I don't know nothing about no class. The school in Medina.
Right.
He said, yeah, well, I gotta get that now. They will text the person that told you that after me. Ask them for the fucking phone.
So we not really affiliated with them. You gotta go through their family.
If somebody's doing this shit, gotta call.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what it is. This internet is going wild. You know what I'm saying? And you just got a whole bunch of people that got a narrative in their mind, and then as soon as something happens, they go with what they already thought instead of trying to do the knowledge.
Yeah. I told them, don't call here no more. Don't ask for me no more.
All right, so West Coast Wise said the economic part is handled. I'll be giving my time for free while King and I are building on this project, but it's where I grew up. It's exactly like the example of taking your post and staying there. So yeah, I mean, if y'all got that part down pat, you know what I'm saying? I would just say, other than that, you know, have everything mapped out. You know what I'm saying? So even I don't know what's going on with the brothers in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? But even in terms of New York, where you might be doing something with kids, and then there's certain people where you like, all right, look, this is not your time. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all gonna come together, because that is another reason why you have the school, you know what I'm saying? So the brothers in the area have a beacon, you know what I'm saying, where they can all come and they can all come and congregate, you know what I'm saying, and be amongst family, be amongst the gods, you know what I'm saying? But for those times like that, have that mapped out, like, okay, this happens, after we finish the after school program, okay, then y'all can, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to make it a hangout. You know what I'm saying? The law school is not a hangout. Almighty God, Allah said cognitive dissonance for the most part is just a lack of mental hygiene. Right? It's being able to clean out your mind from these different distractions, like I said. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things, cognitive dissonance is one of them things, where where you might have people that's poor, right? But because they have Jordans, because they got the Kanye shades and the whatever else is the stuff that they value, right? They're not paying attention to their actual situation, and they actually exacerbating their situation, because the money that you're spending on these things, you know what I'm saying, is they really making your situation worse. You know what I'm saying? But because you're distracted and you're not paying attention to the reality, you're doing these things willingly. You understand what I'm saying? So we look at the world right now, you know what I'm saying? One of the main characteristics of people that suffer from cognitive dissonance is going to always be a lack of planning. You know what I'm saying? Because as the ship is going down, instead of you getting to the lifeboats, you know what I'm saying, you still, partying or whatever the case may be. You don't want to get involved with those things. It's like the brother said, being able to deal with mental hygiene, you know what I'm saying, and know that, okay, we dealing with this right here, and look, nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? We peace and happiness. Peace and happiness is a part of life too. You understand what I'm saying? So, enjoying that peace and happiness is one thing, but let's not forget that freedom, justice, and equality needs to be dealt with. Let's not forget that food, clothing, and shelter needs to be dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? Let's not forget that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding need to be dealt with. So yeah, we exist in a time like that right now. You know what I'm saying? Where we haven't made very good plans. You know what I'm saying? And so right now we dealing with a situation. I'm just talking about one situation. You know what I'm saying? But like in politics, the cognitive dissonance, right, has left us with two terrible choices. Because the entire time we didn't really lock in on what we were supposed to. We allowed ourselves to be caught up in the distractions. Okay, so Serapis, sun god says Serapis was Ptolemy soteriology, is the study of salvation. He was made a statue, and the devil forced the African slaves to worship that statue as Jesus. Okay, indeed, there's quite a few individuals who for different reasons, because they were in power at a particular time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they was in power when certain images or whatever was being manifested, right? Their image was used. You know what I'm saying? So you also have they had these people that control the papacy. You know what I'm saying? The papacy, that's the Pope. You know what I'm saying? They call him and his rulership and everything is called the papacy. You know what I'm saying? So you had this one particular family, the Borgias, that they was in power for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And they was in power when, a lot of Christianity was forming, because Christianity wasn't formed in Jesus' time. It was formed over the years. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say Christianity is 551 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because all the aspects of what we now know as Christianity wasn't always in existence. You know what I'm saying? So when certain images was formed and, you see things like the Sistine Chapel, you know what I'm saying? Or different paintings and sculptures of, Jesus and angels and these other holy figures. I'm pretty sure this guy's name was Caesar Borgia. You know what I'm saying? A lot of images is also made after him. You know what I'm saying? But you got different Jesuses. You know what I'm saying? When we get into this image thing, you know what I'm saying? If you notice, you never see the grown man Jesus in Catholicism. I ain't gonna say never, but you rarely see the grown man Jesus in Catholicism. In Catholicism, for the most part, you see Mary in Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you deal with Protestantism, right? For the most part, you see the grown man Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't see the child Jesus. They'll show you, if they showing you the like the Christmas scene, what they call it, nativity, you would see the child Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So all of these different people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can often find somebody in European history that these images was made off of. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take a shot at the brother, but we seen that in modern times with Dr. York. You know what I'm saying? Where because he was in power in that nation at that time, the images of all the holy people is his image. Overstanding blunt. What does overstanding mean? But overstanding blunt said that's something I build with the young ones right now, how it's important for us to come together in all aspects to keep ourselves ahead. Yeah. And yeah, just that the that's the outcome of cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying? Is that you never take action on the things that you should be taking action, on. You never do it because the reality is not real to you. All right, Jack King is saying that another individual that you might see when you look at these different images of the holy people is the second son of Pope Alexander. you know, you will see, or Almighty God Allah put right here that Serapis is a Greek deity. You know, you will also see that.
You about to break out.
All right, no doubt. Another thing you will see is that if you look at the pictures of the Greek gods, you know what I'm saying, like Zeus, for instance, and then you look at the very early pictures of God, right? It's the same God. You know, all of the pictures, if you look at the pictures of the angels and you look at the pictures of the other, you know, Apollo and all of these guys, this is the same pictures. They just, because that's one of the things that they was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? Almighty God Allah said the jaw or the symbolic antichrist. But that's one of the things they was doing. Where a lot of churches, right, was built on the old temples. You understand what I'm saying? And then when Islam came along, you know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, they went back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Where this thing might be a church, you know, for this 100 years, and then the Muslims would come in and, nah, this is mosque now. You understand what I'm saying? And when they did that, they absorbed all of the people's beliefs that was in that other religion and in that other image. They absorbed it into their religion. Oh, I see what you're saying, John County. Killer priest, but all right, yeah, I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the things they do. You know what I'm saying? Is they use the image. You know what I'm saying of you know, whoever the people was already worshiping. You know what I'm saying? And they take all of the powers that they said that deity had, and they assign it to this new religion and a new deity. You know what I'm saying? Another thing they do, right? Sometimes, right, is they demonize the old deity. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever you see, for instance, like in the Bible, you will see this a lot. You know, the people that's the idol is the golden calf, right? But at that time, people was worshiping a god called Baal, and Baal's symbol was the calf, the bull. You understand what I'm saying? Or how you do the knowledge to you know, the in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? The snake was you know, the snake represented wisdom. You understand what I mean? So the snake is demonized in Christianity. You understand what I'm saying? You know, that's a very powerful way that they use images right there. You know, and it's all related. You know, it's don't necessarily got to be positive and negative. You know, things can be used. It depends on what a person is using it for. You know, I can use a fork to eat my food. Or I can use a fork to stab me. You understand what I'm saying? So by that same token, you know, Fard did that too. Where when he came, he first taught the people out of the Bible because that was the images that they knew. Almighty God Allah said the more they want to attract, the greater the entry level is sometimes, and vice versa. So this is the God understanding LNF. Not familiar with that, but the streets call me overstanding. BIG11. Why they call you overstanding? If Val is the bull, it must have something to do with the Taurus constellation. When you deal with the what they call it, the precession of the equinoxes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that do have something to do. You know, I haven't done the calculations myself, but the different images that they're using, whether you see the lion, you know, whether you see the bull, you know, you hear about you know, Jesus was the fish, you know what I'm saying, or the lamb. You know, a lot of this got to do with the precession of the equinoxes. Rome J says Serapis is Ptolemy evolved over a short period of time that became the Christos, the foundation, or one of the Jesus precept, or one of the first Jesus to Christ. Mrs. Spock says Serapis is a combination of the gods Osiris and Apis and made into something new. Listen, man, 793rd, man, don't be bringing fish into this, man. The one thing about fish, man, I seen fish. I seen fish. I seen fish in some old movies. Fish one of the people that never look young. fish never look young, man. But he one of the people too where yo, every time you see fish in the movie, like yo, what the fuck is fish still doing alive, man? What the fuck you still doing alive, man? So Caesar Borgia was Alexander's. That was the second son of Alexander, Pope of Rome. Alkim Salam. Is everybody doing it? Each one teach one and hitting the like button? Let me see something. Gotta check on y'all now. Uh-oh. Not doing a thing except where's my hater, man? You know, I usually get at least I get like one. I average like one hater a night. Where you at? Tell me everybody agree with me today. That's what it is. We ain't getting none of them people from Facebook today. Facebook must be busy. Rome J said Ptolemy was the first Caucasian actor to try to take the role of Pharaoh, i.e. the first non-original Pharaoh. That's the bloodline of the royals, the queen from the white Cleopatra. Yeah. And he also you know Ptolemy, you know, in a way of looking at things, you gotta remember that at that time, the Pharaoh was seen as God. And so one of the things he was trying to do as you know, taking the role of Pharaoh was he was trying to he was trying that he had a lot to do with the shutting down of a lot of the Egyptian schools, because he was going to them and telling them to make him a god, and they was like, dude, you gotta be God. We can't make you a god. You came from the science of sex, man. So he started killing the priests that didn't want to go along with him. And that's another place where all this Egyptian mystery stuff comes from. There's a mystery to him. Mr. Spock said you started talking about the precession of the equinoxes. Watch your channel start buffering. They don't want you. Hold on. Let's go back and talk about the Knicks. Let's talk about. Let's do 5 minutes on the Knicks real quick. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Giants won today, right? Yesterday, I mean. Yeah, I think the Giants won. You know. Where's VCR at? Let's talk about LeBron. You know, VCR can talk about LeBron till tomorrow. Let's get VCR back in here. Let's get VCR back in here and talk about LeBron, man. We got 5 frames from the Providence Plantations. I ain't even see. All right, Pete Foster. Real Hip Hop said, does the concept of speaking things into existence exist in our culture? Yeah, but you just gotta live it out. See, when you speak it, now you make that word life. But a lot of times, I mean, how else is it going to occur unless you speak it? You know what I'm saying? But true indeed. You know, a lot of things, you know, when we do what we say we going to do, but speaking in things into existence, that's word is born. Rome J said the Roman Empire interrupted that power structure, thus Christianity split. It had 2 different dominating Caucasian theologies come from the root, which is the betrayal by the Coptic Egyptian priests who later became the so-called Moors, who have worked with and taught and were their Musa. Almighty God Allah said the devil's horoscope is a Capricorn, therefore he must pretend he is empathetic with the original man. 1231. Wise you said, ran he or her from the root of civilization class or not on he or her daily post to do that said the person they got. That's what happened. We ran them from the root, so we don't have no nobody to hit the dislike for us. Oh man, Asiatic mathematics. He's always on it. So Mr. Spock said I guess you're talking about Ptolemy. Ptolemy bribed one of the bishops, you know what I mean? Yeah, through over time, he had some individuals that pretended to give him whatever blessing that he needed to be to pretend that he was a god. You understand what I'm saying? And he also that's his strategy. That's one of their strategies is you marry into the royalty that's already there. You understand what I'm saying? And so then you have a bloodline claim. Because if your only claim is through war, what happens is over time they rebel against you. You understand what I'm saying? Like see when the Hyksos, first came in, they was there for a while, but then they got kicked out. You understand what I'm saying? That happened to the Mongolians in China. You know what I'm saying? That's that always happens. If you come in and you don't become a part of the you come in and you don't become a part of the cipher that's there, you could dominate for a minute, but the people rebel against you and kick you out. The Knicks trying to get Chris Paul. They say Melo is also willing to come if they get Paul. We said now cipher to what, Mr. Spot? The Knicks got a history of bringing in the who's who of the NBA 3 or 4 years after they all-star peak. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, see, if you listen to the sports writers too much, you know what I'm saying? I don't know whatever, but for somebody like me, look, you ain't gotta rush. Like it's been this long since it's been a championship. I don't want you to do nothing when you bring these two dudes in. You see, that's one thing about when you bring the wrong people in. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you bring the right people in, you bring Kobe in. Okay, you got 15 years of good sports. You understand what I'm saying? So you bring the wrong person in and you get that bad contract where you still paying them and they not even playing for the team no more. Then you ruined for 10 years, man. So for me, look, I'd rather take your time. You know what I'm saying? Don't pull in no dudes where it's like, okay, we're going to win 50 games every year. So we're not going to be in a lottery. We're not going to get the top picks. You understand what I'm saying? And so now if that don't work out, now you understand what I'm saying? I'd rather listen. Let's see what the young boys going to do. You understand what I'm saying? See what the young boys going to do. You know what I'm saying? And work from there, man. If they're not going to be with theirs, okay, get rid of them. But, all of this kind of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, look, if you were saying, look, LeBron said he was coming, and then Kawhi said if LeBron come, he'll come. All right, how we talking? He said, yeah. LeBron said he's coming, and then Kawhi and Giannis said they come in if he come. Okay, now we talking about. I mean, come on, man. And I know I hate it because that happens a lot in sports where people start talking about useless stats. Like, dude, that's what happened. In the 1950s. You want to bring up the record between these two teams in the 1950s. What do I got to do with now? But that being said, we talking about two guys that never won it, man. and they both, out of their prime. So what makes us feel like, I rather take your time, man. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Whatever you do, don't fuck up. Who's this? Jack Ken Hagar said West New York is in now Jerusalem. That's true. I forgot about that. There's a West New York in New Jersey.
Now, Darkim, peace.
All right, peace.
Be safe.
793rd said, didn't the league basically veto Chris Paul from going to LA years ago? And now, so, I mean, yeah, I don't know what that was about. I'm sure it was something way behind the scenes because I didn't understand that at the time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand that at the time. I still don't. One and two more pieces, and you bring in Chris Paul and what's in it, you still need 5 pieces. I don't know what you're talking about. And both of them, another thing about them, they're not culture guys. Like they're not guys that you could say, okay, you bring in that guy and you put this guy around. What's the dude that we drafted last year? We got a player that we drafted last year that he's good. He didn't break out last year, but he showed he could play the game on that level. You know what I'm saying? Now certain players that you might bring in and you say, okay, he's going to be able to get him up to NBA speed. You know what I'm saying? But neither one of them is that guy. I don't know, 793rd.
Peace, Doctor.
Peace. CP3 and Mello.
Barrett. RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. That's what I'm saying. Like if you was bringing in somebody that you was like, okay, they're gonna show Barrett the ropes. You know what I'm saying? So in 2 or 3 years, they'll have Barrett ready. You know what I'm saying? They not guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, Butler is a guy like that. Like, Scram, we got to play, man. Like, if you ain't gonna play, man, I don't even want to play with you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get your guys to overachieve. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of those two have a history of getting people to overachieve. But actually, I take that back. CP3, he got a couple people over to because I never liked Blake and I never liked that other guy too. That was the center out there in the Clippers. Mrs. Spock said Coptic Moors, the historical Moors, and the Copts are 2 different people, though they may both be mixed and probably look like each other, not the same. Oh, that's what you were saying when you said now. It's like, all right, yeah, Coptic Moors, the historical Moors, and the Copts are 2 different people, though they may both be mixed and probably look like each other, they're not the same people. So did they inhabit the same land or something? Why would it? Yeah, see, 793rd, to me, that's the wrong attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like CP3, that's what I'm saying. We don't have that type of team right now where, from what I hear about CP3, like, don't come in and crush our youngsters. Yes, I mean, don't come in, with whatever you do, and now you kind of even maybe retard the development of our youngsters because they not Andre Jordan. That was the center out there in LA where I would say, yeah, Chris Paul got him the greatly overachieved. But we'll see what happens, man. It's not like I'm gonna be upset if they get Chris Paul and Melo, but I've been doing this for decades, man. With the Knicks, I'm not gonna be excited. Mrs. Fox said, when I say good look, I mean a team that can compete for a 7th or 8th seed. Yeah, I don't want that. Like, what do we look? Number one or nothing. If we're not gonna win it, we don't need. We don't need to Charles Smith it. We don't need to finger roll it. Listen, the Knicks fans have had enough close with no cigar. You know what I'm saying? And that makes money for the team, for them to have that type of hope where the fans buy in. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden everybody's buying jerseys and everything, and we got a chance to win. Listen, man. They think about it like that. Okay, we got Chris Paul and Melo, right? The Nets got Kyrie and Kevin Durant. I mean, we can't even win a series in the city. You know what I'm saying? We can't even win a series in the city, man. That's not. God, B said the Knicks is washed up. You must be a Lakers fan. Yeah. See the difference between me and your pop 793rd is, see, at least he's seen the old championship years. at least he's seen what Walt Frazier and Willis Reed was taking it. I don't even got the benefit of that. Oh, the God I be. The God I be is a LeBron fan. Will you have VCR? Will you have VCR? I got somebody for you. I got somebody for you right here, VCR. You're gonna be talking that LeBron. You're gonna be talking that LeBron crap. This man sat here and talked to us for 2 hours, man, putting LeBron down, man. Phil Jackson, he's another guy, man. Phil Jackson, I had to say that. He was a dude. I was happy when he got here, don't get me wrong. But the knock that they had on Phil all this time, I gotta say, after him coming here, I agree with that. Is that you saying that your triangle is so great, but you only won with the 2 best players in the league all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was always the knock on him is that, look, you give me Scotty and Jordan, you give me Shaq and Kobe, I win it too. You know what I'm saying? But tell the Knicks to spend a big budget on a big three. I mean, you know, with the league, the way I see it, you got certain people that is they factors, you know what I'm saying, in the league, they factors that's really gonna make a difference. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if a big three is available. Not this year. Maybe next year, because ain't Kawhi and them supposed to be free agents at the next year. But in this particular off season, there's not a big three available. Because remember, to get a big three, they need all three. You know what I'm saying? It's not like in the Celtics where to get the big three, you just needed two other guys. In Miami, to get the big three, you just needed two other guys. No, Phil won with Kobe, Powell, and Bynum. See, my opinion on that year was that the Lakers front office and coaching staff recreated Shaq by bringing in Powell was the scoring, and Bynum was the muscle of Shaq. Because in reality, like I said, those were Shaq's chips. And when they realized that, of course, you're not going to find another Shaq. So they got two guys that together equal Shaq. Jack King said exactly how I feel about Nick Saban. I mean, I don't follow Nick Saban quite as much, but yeah, he does have bomb squads. Oh, you saying Phil? You said Phil is the one who took it all. Phil. We got the chip on Phil's back in the 70s. Did Phil even get in the game? Oh. Ron J said this was part of the deal they struck to save their lives when Constantine started to burn and close the temples. And ALS put to death those priests. Who's ALS? Oh, here we go. We must learn from the Coptic Egyptian priesthood. The first pope and bishops came. They helped create Christianity. This is definitely one of the reasons there's an original man as one of the main bishops. Those other mystery systems fled to save themselves, and the sacred knowledge thus scattered, the understanding of ages of knowledge gained, i.e. shown and proven. This is why there are many nations or tribes that have claimed that they come from Egypt. Yeah, I do know that's a certain science, and a lot of well, I know at least one, no, at least two of the great scholars, at least two of the scholars who was at the council on Nicaea came out of Africa. There was some others that came out of Asia, but like the main people who came in and formulated, they came out of Africa. the Nets is bound to take over the New York spotlight. Never happened. Don't jinx them. That's what happened to the Clippers. Everybody, you put too much pressure on them, man. 793rd said, I never believed in Phil as a coach. As I was a Jordan fan for the bum-ass Bulls, Cowboy, Orlando Warriors days. Well, you gotta give it to Orlando Warriors like that. I think I got caught up now. Is that the year who beat the Kings in the playoffs? Oh, you're talking about nah, they was battling with the Kings when Shaq was there. The Kings was out of it when when he won with Powell. Actually, by that time, I think Weber had already got hurt by them. The guy B said if LeBron came to the Knicks, guaranteed to go to the finals in a few years. You know, let's see what happens. You know, one thing that's we're holding the Knicks back is kind of like the word on the streets about Dolan and how he acts. You know what I'm saying? You know, like apparently Steve Kerr was thinking about coming in, you know, but he had that choice and he was like, you know what? I don't want to have to deal with Dolan. You know what I'm saying? And over the years, different people. So he said, not Cowboys, Coke Boys. Yeah, but that was the whole, listen, man, that was professional sports back in the days. That's how it was. Everybody was hitting the slopes. Everybody was hitting the slopes at that time. At any rate, man, it's been a good class I think that we had here today. Everybody that made it this far with me, do each one, teach one. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, of course. Hit the notification button if you want to know when we're going live. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be going live at 7 o'clock for the civilization class. What do we have there? Man, Almighty God Allah, you know this is a Hotep channel. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody do the each one, teach one, and continue to share these on your other pages. You got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you know. Share this for me on those pages so we can get the word out. You know what I mean? And I'll be ready to tune in with y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Peace.